Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome on in. Sorry that we were late. Technical difficulties isn't even the word today. We spent a long time trying to get everybody on. We'll talk about it. We got 80 people up in here. What's going on? Welcome to the first unofficial Sixers Takeover Podcast. We've been doing this the last couple weeks, and we're going to try to continue it each Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Shout out to everybody who has been showing love in the chat. We're live on 2 channels, Philly Take with RB, Run It Back Philly. I got my guys, DJ Eastwood, Romp, and Stephen Conrad. A lot of technical difficulties going on, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Let us know how you're doing. And we're going to talk Sixers and Raptors post-game thoughts. I know these guys have a lot to say as well as I do. We're going to talk about 2-5 selling his apartment and and a potential trade rumor going around. Also, we might take a few callers later on. We'll think about it. We'll see. We're already having enough technological difficulty here, so we'll see what happens. But shout out to everybody in the chat. And what's going on, fellas?
Yeah. What's up? Fire Doc Rivers already after one preseason game.
Hey, technically we're not late, man, because a lot of Sixers games will say like 7:00 tip off and it doesn't start till 7:13 or whatever, man. So by basketball standards, we are on time.
Romp, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm on my phone. My internet's out right now. I'm gonna screenshot my screen right now and send it to you guys. It's just so weird right now, but I'm ready to talk some Sixers preseason. Disappointed in the team. Disappointed in my guy Furkan. Got to make more shots, obviously. But yeah, let's get into this.
Shout out to everybody, man. 120 in here, guys. Wherever you're watching right now, drop a like, subscribe to all the channels down on the banner, and let us know if you want us to continue in this show, man. We're excited to do it. We'll be covering the Sixers all year long with different forms of content, and I'm excited, man. Let us know what you guys are thinking about yesterday's game. We're just gonna go around. We might as well just get different opinions and thoughts. Like, is it time to overreact? Because yesterday, I mean, it felt like the fort was falling down. And Sixers fans were losing their mind over one preseason game. Let's go around.
What is that?
Are you guys hearing that or not? Or is it just me?
Yeah, I'm hearing it. Is that a chip bag? Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
Who is it?
This is going to be a good show tonight. We'll start with DJ, man. Thoughts? Is it time to burn the fortress down after one game? Biggest takeaways? Go ahead.
I will admit that I was overreacting to a preseason game, but it's because it's not like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost a preseason game, or I can't believe we lost to the Raptors. The way that the Raptors fans were celebrating a win. I wasn't overreacting to a loss. I was reacting to the level of skill that I was seeing on the floor on the Sixers side of the ball, and it did not look good. I think Doc Rivers is in Tyrese Maxey's head. That's not a good thing. That's not a good. That just makes me like nervous for him developing with this questioning himself and his decision making and trying to be a facilitator more than a scorer. I don't think it's good. And then like the bench just looked even worse than they did last year. I know it's a preseason game, but good Lord, they were bad.
Stevie, go ahead.
You know, I don't think you're overreacting, and I don't think anybody coming up on here complaining about last night is going to overreact, because you look at all these players, like I couldn't help but notice, and again, we're Sixers fans here. I obviously pay attention to other teams, like obviously the Toronto Raptors being an Eastern Conference team, but I couldn't help but notice how all of their players, all of their young players, especially rookies, just come in and improve so much. Like it seems like every year their guys get better and better. Meanwhile, like you look at the Sixers, you look at Korkmaz, like he put out that off-season workout video and stuff. He still looks like the same Korkmaz. If you want to blame Doc for some of this stuff, like you'd mentioned him being in Tyrese Maxey's head, and I think that is true. He looked hesitant last night. Shake Milton, man, like he's in his head. He looks like he hasn't improved. Who else, man? Who else haven't? Matisse Thybulle, dude. He was like 0-4 from 3. Like the one thing this guy has to work on is the 3-point shot. Look, I love Matisse and his defense is awesome. He could arguably be. Well, I like the idea of him being our best defender once Simmons is gone, but it's like he gets a lot of praise, man, and he is just terrible on offense. Me and Romp were breaking down the film last night. I didn't realize how bad it was. Teams like are treating him just like he's Ben Simmons. It's that bad. Like it's a legitimate concern. You want to have him on the court for his defense, but if teams are doing that to him, you just can't do it. Like we've dealt with this with Simmons. It's the same thing with Matisse.
Yeah.
Let me hit these couple super chats and then I'll give my take on it. Shout out to Rob Dredden with the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. Says Ben Simmons selling his apartment to move to North Philly and Kensington Zombieland because he's a straight dope fiend.
Listen, Ben could still buy the entire area of Kensington with pocket change.
How about the timing on that though, man?
Yeah. I was gonna say that, and we're definitely gonna touch on that. Like, I just think it's funny. It's like I feel like every little thing is just to be put out there. Like, oh, well, I'm selling my apartment now. Like, screw you guys. I'm still doing what I got to do. You can ship me out, keep me out, whatever. I'm gonna do my thing. It's just crazy to me.
I think it's more of a financial move where
I was just gonna say, man,
he's seeing $300,000 per game missed. He's like, I could probably get $3 million for this condo real quick. Let's do that, and it puts it into perspective too. What kind of places these NBA players live in, because a $3 million apartment.
Yeah, well, he's definitely not coming back. I'll tell you that. But Rob, shout out to you, man, and shout out to Eagles Gang with the $5 super chat. Says, what's up, y'all? Question: what's going on with Bum Simmons? Well, we know as much as you do, man. I mean, we're hoping and praying. We're sitting, waiting. We'll be talking about some rumors tonight. I keep seeing pictures of him each day in the gym. He posts his shoes and his legs, and that's it. It's crazy. I feel like the funny thing to me, guys, I don't know about you, but like when he posts these pictures now in the gym, there's nobody else there. Like everybody's with their team. Everybody's playing. It's just
yeah, that is true.
It's weird, and it could be the gym in his house if he had one, but he has to drive to a gym because he doesn't have one in his house.
Yeah. Oh man! Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right, I'll give my take. People are asking where Romp's at. He's having some difficulties, so we'll see if he can get his internet back. We'll see what happens. Real quick, we got another $5 super chat from Eagles Gang. Says, is it crazy how Ben wanted Jimmy out and the Sixers said, yeah, let's get him out of here?
I think it was more Jimmy wanted Ben out or didn't want anything to do with Brett Brown or Ben Simmons, and the Sixers ownership has treated Ben like a LeBron James 2.0 since he was drafted, and they were like, no, you're not allowed to talk bad about Ben Simmons. You're not allowed to disagree with him. Jimmy, you're out of here. Yeah. And then they fired Brett Brown the next year. And now we're in the situation with Ben Simmons. So Jimmy turned out to be right. He was right in Minnesota. He was right in Philly. He was probably right in Chicago. He's a dog mentality type of player, and everybody should have listened to him from the first time he had an issue with a basketball team.
I think that was the biggest mistake we could have made, because everything that followed that, from overpaying Tobias Harris because we got scared to signing Al Horford, like everything was a domino effect from letting Jimmy Butler walk. And the assets that we gave up to get Jimmy Butler, like those were gone too. And essentially we didn't conquer anything, so it's really tough. So my opinion on the game last night, guys, I'm going to try to keep it as level-headed as I can. I feel like the entire Sixers nation is completely overreacting. And I mean to an extraordinary level, because let me be honest though, that was sloppy. That was ugly. It was piss poor. You can't have that kind of preparation into a basketball game. But one game, guys, really one game in the beginning of October, that doesn't count for a thing. And people are out here talking, oh, you see what happens when you don't have 2-5s defense.
Oh my God.
Tyrese Maxey isn't the guy, this and that.
Yeah,
really?
we're gonna
Over
use
4 quarters of preseason basketball? Come on, man. This was the first game. These guys are young. They haven't played a lot together. And I'll be honest, it did not look pretty. That we need 3 more days of practice on defense. We should just run laps and learn how to defend. But from what I saw yesterday, but I think people are completely overreacting. We didn't even have Joel Embiid. We didn't have Tobias Harris. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the team definitely looks different and runs completely different when Joel Embiid's on the floor. We're never good without Joel Embiid. You know, anytime he sits out anything, there's really no like structure. There's no flow. There's no real in order offense when Joel Embiid's not there, because our whole game plan always is to feed him in the post and get things out of that. So he wasn't there, and the team, you know, looked like basically what they looked like last year when Joel Embiid's not there, which is just a bunch of dudes running in circles, nobody really in charge.
Yeah. I just think that, you know, I didn't expect this to look pretty. Now, there were other things I wanted to see, and we'll definitely get into it, like in terms of players being aggressive and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, let's be honest, the Toronto Raptors, shout out to them. They have really good young players. They did not miss a shot, I don't think, in the first half. Like they just literally kept drilling threes.
Yeah.
Now, part of that was because we left them wide open, but still, like, come on, man. Our guys had to get in our groove. There was some good things to take away. Let's give it a couple more preseason games, in my opinion, before we start, you know, completely going off. But what do you think, Steven?
Yeah, I didn't mean to like come out here and act like the sky was falling. My
Oh,
point
no,
was just
not
about
you.
You know what I
I'm talking
mean?
about like
I was.
Sixers fans on Twitter. Like,
I don't think we have enough talent. I straight up don't. Like, we're how many years are we going to watch Furkan Korkmaz and Shake Milton? Anyway, go ahead, Steve.
No, that was my point though. Like seriously, like eventually, and like I get it, this team will function. Like every team's gonna function better when their best player is available, even their second best player. But it's the fact that the guys look so helpless. Like it's been the problem this whole time. We just don't have legit like ball handlers, and the one we have, it's just unfair to ask him, Tyrese Maxey, what is he, 20 years old, to be the lead ball handler of a team that's, well, you know, a playoff team and has aspirations to win a championship. It's just not fair. And you look at the Raptors, like, even if you subtract Van Fleet, they have all these guys who can just make plays. Like, we literally just have so many guys. I don't even know, like, their roles are just to like spot up and shoot. This is why, like, we've all been pounding the table to just go out. Like, at this point, just get me a starting point guard. Like, I don't even care. Like, we talk about all these names. Just get me a guy who can, you know, run the offense, you know, make it easier. Me and Romp were mentioning, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. And I'm not just saying this after one preseason game. I'm not saying Tyrese can't be the point guard, but like, to me, he's more of like a combo guard. I would like him at shooting guard, because he's more of like a score first type of player. Like, it kind of reminds me of a situation like the Raptors, how they had Van Fleet. He benefited from Kyle Lowry. Lowry was the veteran point guard. So Van Fleet was kind of able to just come in and do his thing and get buckets. And now a couple years later, now he's their starting point guard, and he benefited from it. You know, like, what do you guys think on that? Should the Sixers take that approach?
Yeah, I don't know who is available for. That's the thing. We're kind of screwed. You know, in a perfect world, yeah, you would want Tyrese Maxey to play like 4 seasons behind a Kyle Lowry and just come off the bench and run the second unit and get comfortable and learn. So, you know, what I saw last night just shows me that it's just not something you can learn that fast, you know. And now it's just a bad feeling, because I don't know what guy can he actually learn from on the team? There's nobody there.
Yeah, I hear you. And I have a few points I want to make, but let me hit these super chats real quick. Shout out to Batters about with the $5 super chat. Says, I know I stir you guys about Ben Simmons, and I don't always agree with you, but I love your passion. Thank you very much. We appreciate people like that can at
Thank
least
you,
have
Batters.
a conversation about it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, much love goes out to you. And shout out to Aaron with the $5 super chat. Says, bro, if Glenn Rivers screws up Maxey by trying to make him Rondo, I may have to become a T-Wolves fan, because even they don't know my pain. Yeah, I definitely want to ask these guys about those comments as well, because in my opinion, Maxey was not aggressive last night, and I wanted to see him take more threes, especially last night. But Aaron, shout out to you. Steve, in terms of your point about Tyrese Maxey, like, I feel like this goes back to what I was saying a couple months ago. Like, people were so hesitant when I even brought up the idea of throwing Tyrese Maxey in a trade for a superstar. And like, I feel like it goes back to this common theme of how we overrate players. Now, Tyrese is going to be a stud in a couple years. We know that. He has the potential. He has the upside, right? It takes the right system to get it out of him. But this, like you guys said, he's 20 years old. Like we're going, and I texted DJ about this, and I want to get your guys' take on this message. Last night, this showed me, and I'm kind of taking a different approach here, but this actually showed me why the Sixers haven't traded 2-5 yet. Because like DJ just said, like we need an impact player. We need a star on this team, guys. I'm just going to throw it out there. Like we're not, you guys said it, like we don't have enough talent otherwise. So I feel like Daryl's going to do everything he can to paint it up perfect in a perfect canvas, defensive player of the year, do what he can and wait for a team that's desperate to strike, because if we trade him for a fringe starter that, doesn't end up playing or doesn't end up working out, we have nothing left. We have no draft picks. We have no assets. All we have is Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris being overpaid. So I want to get your guys' take on that.
I mean, that's my belief and hope, I guess. Like he waited this long because of that, maybe like we could only hope he knows something we don't, right? Like he's been checking in on all these situations. Like we mentioned Damian Lillard, but there's other guys out there that we probably don't even know of that might become unhappy where they're at. It's just not reported or whatever. The media is so good at like altering with that stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, I would like to think that, right? He's waited this long. Otherwise, like as much as we, dog on Ben Simmons, like I hope it's not a situation where like if Daryl were to just call the Timberwolves, for example, right now and be like, yo, we'll give you Ben Simmons. Will you give us D'Lo? Like, I hope it's not a situation where they're like, we got to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it would be like a definite yes. Like, I hope that's the situation, not, vice versa or whatever. But it's hard, man, because it's literally like an asset that's just sitting there. Like he's not even showing up to practice. Yeah. They're not trading him yet for somebody that could come in and help. So like, this is killing me, man. Like the days right now, like I'm literally just waiting for a trade to happen at this point, Yeah.
And that's why it hurts too. And that's why we look like the ones in desperation mode right now. So I feel like we're going to wait maybe 20 games into the season where a team goes, oh, our best defensive player just got hurt. Oh, we see that we can make the playoffs this year or just something like that and say, all right, let's call up the Sixers. You know what I mean? What do you think, DJ?
I think, and I think Daryl Morey might wait a little bit into the season too, because if this team does not look good for 10 games, then you could sell it on like, look how much of an impact he had, and now look how much they miss him, and this is what he can do for your team. And even if I don't believe it for the regular season, I believe it somewhat with his defense and his just vision and passing ability. But when it comes to the playoffs, the guy absolutely folds and runs away. So it doesn't actually matter. But I definitely saw a difference from last night, whereas if you would have had Ben Simmons on the floor, he's hitting Seth in the corner, he's hitting Danny in the corner, he's hitting guys that Tyrese Maxey just can't find, just can't see. Ben can facilitate better than Tyrese Maxey with his eyes closed. But when it comes to the playoffs and refusing to shoot and the defense just doesn't guard him and those kind of things, that's what I'm tired of seeing. But I think you can sell him, if we don't look that great in the beginning of the regular season without him. But I actually think, or I actually hope that it gets done before that, because I'm just ready to move on. You're right. We're in limbo. We're like chained to this Ben Simmons thing in a basement, and we can't get out until somebody brings the key, and it's not coming anytime soon. It's still hard to even talk about the team because it's like, well, we still have Ben Simmons that we didn't trade yet. So that's annoying.
Yeah. I'm just kind of worried. Like when you look at the long-term impact of this, we don't have a lot of draft picks stocked up. We've used a lot and we've missed on a lot. And other than Tyrese Maxey and maybe Matisse Thybulle, like what other assets do we have that are, other than Joel Embiid, obviously, that are like valuable and like pure points when it comes to a potential trade, even going forward for the future, right? A potential free agent looking at this team, like, why would I want to go there? Like we have to put ourselves in a good position. Like if we go out and get a D'Lo or a Brogdon, we have to play well to the point where another star would say, let me go play in Philly with Joel Embiid and this guy or that guy, and we'll make something happen here. But if not, like if we mess that up, I just think that's why a move hasn't been executed yet. That's just my thoughts on it.
I also think like it kind of feels like this is the only move that the Sixers have in them is like a Ben Simmons trade, because like once this is done, I don't really know what else they have to trade. Like they could probably, come trade deadline, give up second round picks or whatever for some, garbage guy to fill out your bench. Like, let's just be honest. But like, as far as like something that can actually help the team, like this is it. They have to get this right. There's no excuses here. Like you have to figure out what you can do here to, benefit the team. It can't be something where it's like, it's somewhat going to help the team. Like, no, this is all you have left. This is literally it right here.
Yeah, you're right. And with the Tyrese Maxey thing, with people saying like, you guys are impatient, give him time, he's going to be great. I'm like, we don't have time. That's what I'm saying here. We don't have time. If we're going to wait 5 years, then trade Joel Embiid right now. You know what I mean? We don't have time. You need to do something, take advantage of his MVP level of play right now. And like, if you can get a more experienced guy, and you can get if you can get a Brogdon and LeVert and something else, and you have to throw Tyrese Maxey in there, that's just feels like a lot to me for Brogdon and LeVert. But I don't know. I'm like I have a headache thinking about it. But if you have to give up Maxey for a more experienced guy, maybe you do. But you still have to question, like, whatever move you make, you have to think like, could this win a championship this year? Because if it couldn't, then like, kind of what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And again, like looking at that long-term aspect of it, it gets rough. I want to ask you guys about the Doc Rivers comments on Maxey, and I want to touch on that. But before we do that, let's wrap up on the game. Like, are there any other takeaways that you guys have, or something that you notice? I'll go first. I've been saying this for I don't know how long, but we need a Jordan Clarkson, a Lou Will. We need a veteran guard off the bench that we can count on for 10 to 15 a night. I'm getting sick and tired, like you said earlier, Furkan, Shake, so inconsistent. Championship teams, what do? They bring a few guys off their starting unit. They bring scorers in. We don't have a vet guard off the bench. And, we traded for Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson a couple years ago. Glenn Robinson got no playing time. Alec Burks had 18 in a playoff game and got set.
Yeah.
So when are we going to get a lethal scorer off the bench? Because I'm telling you right now, I've been saying it, and I saw last night right in front of me. I am severely worried about the bench. What do you guys think?
I think it depends what happens with the Simmons trade, but do you guys think, because his role before he came here, by the way, was coming off the bench, Seth Curry is what I'm talking about. Like, I love him, man. He's on a really good contract. He fits really good on this team. But I'll be honest, like on a championship team, he's probably your sixth man, if I'm being honest. Like, do you think he could fill that role? Like, is that something? Like, I think he can. He's done it elsewhere. He did it in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I have it in house here.
I don't think Seth is a good enough like shot creator really to be that that guy off the bench to just give him the ball and he's going to score. You know what I mean? He's still just kind of a catch and shoot guy. He shows flashes of creation at times, but he was forced to do it in the playoffs, and that's why he averaged 20 points in the playoffs. So maybe he could, and he just hasn't been given a chance to do that. But yeah, I agree that we just need a veteran guy off the bench, because I'm just tired of watching these dudes that are just, they don't improve. They're just kind of the same every year. They're like, okay, they're 9 for 10 and then they're 0 for 13. Yeah, I totally agree with RB on that one.
Yeah, I just, and to your point, Steven, I do think that Seth can be a six man. I thought that's what we were going to bring him in for. And I think Danny Green would be better at the 2, to be honest. So, but again, we need that forward,
Speaking of Danny, guys, he looked terrible last night. He looks like he's aged 15 years.
Yeah, Doc's post-game press conference, one of the first things he said was, we looked out of shape. And I'm like, why are your players out of shape? Do you not have an off-season plan for your players? No, he doesn't, because Doc Rivers is 62. He left the facility and he went golfing around the world and didn't talk to anybody. And then he came back and everybody came back. Nobody did anything the entire offseason. You could tell. So, maybe it'll take him 10 or 20 games through the season to get in shape. Hopefully Joel was working by himself. But I just think Doc was kind of insulting himself when he said that. Like, why is that team in great shape and your team is not?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I'll be, I agree with you guys 100%. Like, Doc has really been worrying me, but I'm not going to say anything else until I see how the regular season plays out, because I do think Doc did good things in the regular season last year other than 2-5. Like, I feel like every problem ends up coming back to 2-5 somehow.
Mhm.
So I want to see the post era of him not here and how these guys
Yeah.
play together. But I want to hear from you guys and the chat as well. Let us know if you guys are how you guys are thinking about these things. We got 330 people in the chat. Yeah, drop a like wherever you're watching. What do you guys make of Doc's comments on Tyrese? Is it something we should overreact about, underreact? Do you think it's had an impact on him so far last night? What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Steve.
I just don't understand how you're going to be like so soft towards like Ben Simmons for the majority of last year. And then like the first chance, like, first of all, a 20-year-old being asked to like literally take the keys to the Ferrari. It's like, here, it's your ball, man. Be the point guard of the 76ers. This dude comes out and like straight up slanders him. Like, look, that's a conversation you got to have behind closed doors with Tyrese. You critique his game and stuff like that. And hey, he can clearly handle it. He seems like a tough kid, mentally tough. But like to come out to the media and make that the narrative, I don't know, man. It seems kind of odd to me. Are you guys kind of like, it just seems weird, like an agenda or something. I don't know what his thinking was behind that.
I just think Doc's comments after the last training camp practice, where he basically said Tyrese didn't have a great camp, but he didn't have a bad one. And I'm like, why would he even say that? Like, he's not focused on this kid's confidence or anything like that. And then when he went on this thing comparing him to Rajon Rondo, and it was just, it came off as so Brett Brown to me. It came off as so, I coached Tim Duncan in the 90s, so we have to play from the post, and we need two centers. And it's a guy that is 20 years past his coaching prime, who's out of touch with the way the game works right now. And he thinks Tyrese Maxey should play like Rajon Rondo, instead of looking at Tyrese Maxey and saying, what kind of player is he naturally, and how can we get the best out of him? He's not Rajon Rondo at all. Rajon Rondo could facilitate a team with his eyes closed, with his right hand tied behind his back, throwing behind the back left hand passes. He was insane when he was 21. Tyrese Maxey's not that. You need to look at Tyrese Maxey and say, okay, Joel's going to be the guy in the middle. You're going to be the guy up top. Shoot anytime you're open. Pull up mid-range. Shoot 25 shots a game. Bring the defense out. Give the ball to Joel. And don't, like, you could tell from the time that game started yesterday, one of the first plays, Tyrese had a wide open lane, and he kicked it to Danny Green real fast. He was like trying really hard to share the ball, and I hate it. I hate that he's in his head making him think like that instead of just do what you do.
Yeah, and also there was a comment yesterday in the post game press conference where Doc, I think he said something like, Tyrese isn't ready. He has a long way to go, or something like that. I honestly am getting the feeling, guys, like, we know that Doc doesn't like playing young guys a lot. I have a feeling that Doc is just viewing Maxey almost like a blowover. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's just another young player. He'll develop. In time, he'll be all right. Like, I'm starting to really believe that Doc loves 2-5, and he wants him back at all costs. And if he's not here, I feel like Doc is not going to view this team as like a sure contender.
That's a good point you both made. Like, it seems like he's really like, I mean, Doc obviously is older, but it seems like he's like stuck in the past. Like, Boston was the only team he won a championship with, right? Like, I was hyped when we hired Doc Rivers. I was like, well, this is exactly what they need, an older guy that's going to hold this team accountable and stuff like that. But, we saw how this has been playing out, and it's not looking good right now. Like, this team needs leadership, by the way, right now, with all this nonsense going on. And Doc just seems to be a jerk. He's not, backing his players. Like, dude, you're not going to back Tyrese Maxey? Like, I don't understand. And like, he's turning him into a player he's not. Like, he's so obsessed. Like, you brought up Rondo, and that's the comparison he's trying to use. Like, why is he so obsessed with like a facilitating point guard? Like, I feel like that's part of, obviously Ben deserves a lot of blame, but that's like part of his downfall with Ben Simmons this past year. He literally told him, he's like, I don't care how many points the guy scores, just facilitate. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you have to score the basketball. Don't you guys remember coming into last season, one of the things he said, he's like, I don't care how we score the basketball. We just got to score a lot. We got to be like top 5 in scoring. Well, if you're literally coaching some of your players to not even score the basketball, how's that going to work? It just doesn't make any sense.
Dude, he said that again. He said that again in his postgame yesterday. He said, "I'm not worried." They were talking about Furkan being 1 for 8 and whatever else. He's like, "Are you worried about the guys shooting?" And he said, "Shooters shoot, shooters miss. I'm not worried about the shooters not making shots." He said, "I'm worried about non-shooters shooting the ball." That's what he said. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Why is he harping on? Why is he telling people not to shoot the ball? It's the opposite way to do things. You ever play basketball? You never wanted a guy on your team that would like give you a mean mug if you took a wide open shot. You know what I mean? I need people that are gonna encourage me to shoot. That's positivity. That's energy. That don't tell someone not to shoot the ball. I don't get it. Also, that is part of Doc Rivers' problem with Ben Simmons is that he coached Rondo and he thought that Ben Simmons was like Rondo times 2, 6'10" Rondo who can play great defense. That's all good and well. Rondo had 3 Hall of Famers on his team. If Ben Simmons was kicking out to Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, yeah, Ben Simmons is great. Just play defense and don't do anything else. You have enough good players to win an NBA championship. That's not what this team is. So Doc he's just obsessed with that 2008 team, and I see it more and more every day. And this Tyrese Maxey, Rajon Rondo thing blows my mind.
You know what I think it is too? Like, I feel like he views Joel as being so dominant that he's like, we're just going to build the entire offense around Joel, and our point guard's just going to be here to facilitate. Like you said, I don't think he's up to date. Like, even though you have a dominant center, look at the Denver Nuggets. You can also have a lethal point guard, a guy who can shred the defense, and can get to his spots and knock it down off the dribble. So I don't know. I just have it. I have this gut feeling that it's something about Tyrese being young, and those comments last night about, oh, he's just pretty much saying like he's just a project, you know, like it's going to take a long time. Like, we don't have time. We don't have time, Doc. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Listen, and also the way the basketball works, you could have coached the 2016 Warriors to an NBA championship. You could have coached the 2008 Boston Celtics to an NBA championship. These guys get on such a high horse. They think they did something amazing by winning a championship with 4 Hall of Famers on a team that they think they're a genius. And now I'm gonna do what I did then to this team. No, bro, it was just the fact that you had 4 Hall of Famers. Give them a basketball, they're gonna score 130.
Yeah, and since Doc didn't come in and really apply any accountability, especially when it comes to one of our stars, like I'm leaning towards the notion like, yeah, Doc, he's kind of overrated if you think about it. I mean, look at all the leads he's blown and all the chances, all the good, like that team, not even with Kawhi and PG, but when you look at Lob City, like I thought that team could have been a championship team for a couple years. He's got something to prove, and this could be a hot seat year for Doc, in my opinion.
I agree. And also, like, dating back to that, even that Celtics team he coached more specifically, like, they underachieved. Like, I remember when that team was formed, I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are about to just go. They're going to three-peat or something like that. That's 3 Hall of Famers, a young all-star guard, you know what I mean? And Rondo. Also, like, we kind of like ignored this, but he basically got fired from that Clippers job. And that's a lot of talent on that team. That's another team. Kawhi, PG. I thought when that team got formed, I was like, you know what? That team's probably going to win the title. That's a really good team. Because before those 2 guys got there, they were like a 6th or 7th seed. Their best player was like, who was it? Lou Williams? I forget. That team was pretty good. So,
yeah. Imagine it. Imagine if Doc Rivers actually held great players back more than he helped them, and they were just that good that they still won a championship anyway. You know what I mean? Because I never really went back and looked at the series records and stuff with that Boston Celtics team, but I know there wasn't much in the East when LeBron was in Cleveland the first time, and I think Dwayne Wade wasn't winning yet in Miami, or he was. I don't remember. But LeBron went to Miami to face the Celtics basically, and that was it. But I don't know. Maybe they underachieved more than anything.
Yeah. It's a really good point. Shout out, we got 350 people in the chat. Wherever you guys are watching, give us your thoughts. Romp was here, but he could not stay on because his internet was down. So, hopefully he'll join us next time. But let us know if you guys are enjoying this, if you want to see this each week. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should take a few phone calls since we don't have Romp up here? What do you guys think?
I'm down. Sure. Why not?
Good.
All right. I'll put the number up on the screen, guys. Call in. Give us some thoughts on Doc Rivers, what you saw in the preseason game. We're still going to talk about the news from today and the trade rumor, but we'll take a few calls. Give us your thoughts There's the number 215-798-7638. We got a couple super chats to read while we wait. Kirby with the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. Says, I feel like maybe Doc is upset that fans believe in Maxey and don't believe in Ben. So now he's knocking Maxey down a peg.
Could be.
Could be, man. Doc Rivers
is a fanboy.
Doc Rivers is a Ben Simmons fanboy. He really is.
Oh man,
he is. He's like, Ben's amazing. Ben is amazing. I just don't understand what you guys see that you don't love. He's just an incredible, amazing. I can't stand the guy when he talks about Ben Simmons. I can't.
How does stuff like this continually happen in Philadelphia? Like, it's just so tiring, man. Like, we deserve something, especially right now with all the sports, man. Like, come on. I also think Doc Rivers just sounds like he's done when he does a press conference. He just sounds like he doesn't really care that much. He's like, well, he's gonna get better. He's gonna improve. He just doesn't sound enthusiastic. Yeah. Just retire, dude. Just retire and play golf. Yeah, he was going to not take this job last year until he saw our two guys.
We also paid him a lot, man. That was a big check. Him and Daryl, by the way.
So we can actually blame Brett Brown for being so bad that we paid Doc Rivers so much money because we thought he was going to be that much better. It's all Brett Brown's fault at the end of the day.
Honestly, guys, when it comes to Daryl Morey, though, like I still feel like he's getting a little bit too much criticism. Like, there's definitely moves he missed out on, but at the trade deadline last year, who did he trade? What assets did we have to go out? Right? He traded Tony Bradley to get George Hill. Like, yeah, he could have thrown in the entire boat, Maxey, Thibault, and got Lowry. He probably, we look back, hindsight, probably should have done it, right? But this offseason, like, he has not had a lot of room to work. Now, I will say he should have got a better bench piece because, people think George Niang is the solution to all problems. I mean, this guy averaged like 5 points a game and played 10 to 15 minutes a night. Like, we need some bench help. I agree. But when it comes to your top three guys and you got Tobias overpaid, you got 2-5 overpaid, it's kind of a tough job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, George Niang was really just a catch and shoot guy. The only thing that stands out is that he shot like 43% from three on catch and shoot threes. So that's always like, oh, he's a big stretch four. He shoots 43%. And like, yeah, but how many did he get per game? And then last night I saw a lot. The lack of a point guard forced a lot of players to dribble a basketball that I don't want to ever see dribble a basketball. You know what I mean? It's just Andre Drummond had 5 turnovers. That guy should never be dribbling a basketball at the 3-point line. It shouldn't happen. Why are we running dribble handoffs with Andre Drummond? He's less of a ball handler than Joel Embiid, and you don't even really want him dribbling the ball at the 3-point line.
Yeah, we had no substance at all. Let's go to a caller. Yo, you're the first ever caller on the Sixers Takeover Podcast. What's going on? Who do we have on the line?
Yo, we got Scotty here. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Scotty?
What's up, Scott?
Yo, so let me just say this, man. I was watching I think it was this morning. I was watching the little press conference with Daryl Morey and what's our not the owner, the GM, not Brett Brown.
Daryl Morey.
Elton Brand.
And I was just like, they kept talking. I couldn't even watch it for more than 5 minutes, man. It was like, what is the love affair with Simmons, bro? Like, I can't take it anymore. Like, they're talking about like how this guy's gonna come back and they're expecting him to come back. Like, what do you see that like makes you think that he's gonna come back? Why do you even want him back at this point?
I will say I saw that same press conference and you could tell. First off, you're right. I don't know why Elton even has a job. Like, he must be shining Daryl's shoes or something. But
he has no job.
He was lying through his teeth, man. Like, he literally answered a question saying that he wanted 2-5 back and started laughing. Like, Daryl started laughing as well. It's like, it's ridiculous at this point.
They're just playing the game, saying that kind of stuff. They're just playing the game, trying to, because you don't want this like public battle and animosity and stuff. You want it to sound like we value this guy because he's amazing. So please give us something in a trade. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is, really.
You think it's all like a mind game thing, like with trade negotiations? Because that's what I hope it is, honestly. Like, I really hope they're not serious.
Yeah, I think it has to be. Yeah. I don't think Daryl Morey likes him at all, but I think he knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and then and then the rumors came out today that apparently they're looking at like Brogdon and LeVert in like a trade talk. Like, how would you guys feel about that?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about that in a little while, but
Yeah.
I mean, if that trade offer is there, you have to highly consider it, no doubt.
Mhm.
But I just don't
for
I
sure.
don't believe that it's there. I just don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving up Brogdon and LeVert for, the Pacers look at themselves and say,
phone call.
what happened?
How about that, Paul?
The Pacers look at their team and say, are we a championship caliber team? The answer is no. So I guess they probably would be willing to give up. But does Ben Simmons really make you a championship caliber team without other all-stars around him to score? No. So I don't know.
Is Larry Bird in charge? Is he the GM of the Pacers? Who is the GM?
I think so, yeah. Or
Yeah, it is Larry. Yeah.
Larry Bird trading for a non-shooter. Imagine that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Larry Bird trades for a guy that refuses to shoot a basketball. It's all come full circle from 1980.
Yeah. The Pacers are in a I mean, who knows with the Pacers? I don't see them going up anytime soon. But we appreciate the call, man.
Hey, appreciate you having me on, man.
Thanks,
man.
Shout out to the super chat from TJ. He says Cowboys just released Jalen Smith. Congrats.
Is that the guy that got substance abuse?
Nah, I think that was the lineman, right? But Smith is the linebacker.
Well, Eagles could use him, that's for sure.
Yeah, we could use a lot.
Not saying much, but
This is the Sixers takeover, not the Eagles. It's rough times with the Philadelphia Eagles. So
Yeah, don't even get me started on Howie Roseman and linebackers.
guys, call into the show, man. Let's we got the number 215-798-7638. We're gonna go on to the next topic, but feel free to call in. We kind of touched on it, but what do you guys make of this whole like, oh, I'm selling my apartment now? Like, do you think that's more of like a shot back from Rich Paul, or do you think that's just 2-5, just like, let me get the heck out of here?
Honestly, like there was a report that it came out. I think it was Bleacher Report. I forget where it came out, or the Philly Voice, one of those. I get them all mixed up. They were saying how I guess Simmons like camp is feeling like the pressure of the holdout or whatever. So like it's got to like honestly, it's probably just financial reasons. He was gonna sell it eventually. Like I said earlier, the timing is kind of it's pretty funny here, like because the fines just now are starting to get bad, and I guess because he didn't report that one day he missed out on like $8 million it was or something like that. I forget what the situation was. So it's financial. I don't think it's what I mean, like any of this other stuff.
Dude, I don't think people realize how much of a mistake he's making financially. Like, it's insane the amount of money he's willing to give up to not. Dude, for $8 million, I'll show up in a clown suit and you can throw like cow shit at my face for hours on end every day. Like, there's no way you would. I just don't understand. Most people are like that. Most people are like, yeah, I hate the city. The fans hate me. Everybody, but you're going to take $8 million from me. I'm showing up. I'm showing up with a mean face on, or I'm showing up and faking an injury. I'm doing something to get that $8 million check. That's crazy.
Well, that was a report that came out too. Remember they were saying, was that true? Something about him like being injured or something? Do you remember hearing that, you guys?
Yeah, they said he actually could show up eventually and say that he has an injury. He would make his money, but he probably would just sit on the sidelines.
Which I don't know how that works, by the way. Like, I feel like you kind of have to, if you're being paid, if you're employed by the Sixers, don't you have to be tested by their medical staff? I don't know.
Yeah, it would get real messy. And to that point, guys, like, I think if he does sit out, they're talking about like all these little caveats, like how he could end up going to his next team and he could still get paid. I don't see any way he goes to another team and gets his fully guaranteed money, because that's just opening up the possibility for someone else to do it, So I just think he's either going to have to man up and come, or he's going to miss, $300,000 per day. And that's just absolutely crazy. Let's get some thoughts here. We got another caller on the line. Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what up? Run it back, yo. You be screaming in the morning.
We can't hear you that much, man.
What do you say?
What's going on? What's going on?
You.
My boy's running back, yo. You be having me screaming in the morning. Let me keep this short. Okay. Ben, he can't come back because he's not built for Philly. You know what I'm saying? He just can't come back. It's Dame or nothing. We just gotta drop our nuts and chill. Okay. Let me say it's this. Okay, our loyalty is what's getting us in the way. It's the same thing as Carson Wentz. We should have been him sooner. Jalen would have had the rest. Just like with Brett Brown and Ben. We should have got rid of Ben sooner and Brett Brown sooner and kept Jimmy. We gotta pray that Embiid don't fuck around and leave and end up in Miami. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We gotta drop our nuts and wait for Dame. Y'all be cool.
All right. Short and simple. Appreciate it.
I like a caller who gets a point across and just leaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's powerful, man.
I mean, he's not
Drop the mic. Listen, Damian Lillard's not leaving, so I don't understand.
Yeah, but did you hear yesterday their top offseason addition broke his nose? Cody Zeller.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, Cody Zeller with a good nose is your best acquisition. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
I know. It's just crazy, man. I don't know what he's waiting for, but yeah, I think 2-5's feeling the pressure, man, like you said, and he's going to have to come either way, or this is going to get messy. And what my hot take, guys, is that by maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to hear something from the NBA. Like Adam Silver is going to call up Rich Paul, tell him to stop being so damn stingy, and they're going to have a meeting or something like that. And let me tell you guys this. If there's some way that this happens where he ends up getting out and getting like part of his money guaranteed or something like that, I'm going to absolutely flip, because at that point we're screwed. He gets what he wants, and that's just disgusting.
I think you got to look at it like this. Well, first of all, I don't think Adam Silver wants to screw over NBA teams. You know what I mean? That's letting a player get away with it and giving nothing back to the team is the worst thing that could happen to the NBA. Like moving forward, I think his goal would be to benefit the team more than this player who's being selfish and mad at an organization or whatever. But as far as a trade, like, you got to look at what's another GM thinking when they ask themselves what happened in the Ben Simmons situation. Are they, Ben's mad at the organization because Doc threw him under the bus and all this stuff. Is a GM really thinking that makes sense, or is a GM saying this guy folded in the playoffs 3 years in a row and ran away and hid and is willing to lose his whole contract and not come back and is screwing the team over? Do I want that guy on my team? Like, I don't think anybody wants him on their team.
Right. And that's why
at that money.
Yeah, and that's why I said last stream, like, what happens when someone criticizes him on his new team? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's missing out the next 3 years. Like,
this stuff isn't going to go away.
Yeah,
no, it's not. And to your point, DJ, like, you're right. Like, the Sixers are being naturally screwed here. But the thing is, 2-5 is so in his own like mind and his own world. Like, how are we going to even get the value back up? That's why I'm saying the only chance that I see is like a team so desperate for, maybe a team that can't acquire anybody in free agency, or just someone gets hurt and then they say, all right, let's go out and get them. But other than that, what else do we do? I don't know.
I think teams are like, listen, we would love Ben Simmons, but not at $177 million. So you guys figure it out over there. If you got to go to court for a breach of contract and delete the whole thing, we'll take him on a different contract. But I don't know who's paying max money for a guy that folds and then can't handle the criticism.
Well, this better not be a buyout situation. All
he had to do,
like, when will the NBA, like, if they do step in, like, when, like, what's the time frame? Because like you guys were saying, like, look, as powerful as Rich Paul is, like, he's not Superman. Like, you can't, like, the NBA is not going to let this fly, because if they let this fly, forget star player, every disgruntled player is going to just start sitting out. Like, it was kind of a similar situation with I can't remember which player it was. It was with the Steelers. It was either Le'Veon or Antonio Brown. It was like a similar situation. So they can't afford to let this one fly. No way.
Yeah, it was Le'Veon. And I think they started to put more things in the contracts as to like where they couldn't get certain money or something like that. But yeah, you're right. Like, this is going to set a precedent going forward. And what I think, like I said, I think it's going to be within the next couple of weeks, because you can't let this carry on into the season and the Sixers are just hanging here in no man's land. Like, something has to happen. And I don't know. I just really hope it doesn't result where we get nothing out of it. That's what I don't want. And it's crazy because the whole thing could have been prevented. I don't want to hear anything different. All he had to do was come, keep quiet. He could literally come and say, I'm here so I don't get fined, and facilitate a trade. And, they work behind closed doors. But no, the Sixers literally flew out to this guy. They went out to LA. He won't even come to the East Coast. And they had a meeting with him, and he acted, from what we heard, like a what. So it's just crazy. All you had to do was help us facilitate a trade. You get what you want. You get your money. And that's that. Like, why is that so hard to comprehend?
It goes all the way back to after Game 7. All he had to do was come up in that press conference and say, I failed. I didn't dunk. I didn't take a wide open dunk. I know everyone's mad at me for it. I needed to be more aggressive. I need to work on my game. I need to work on my mindset, being more aggressive. All he had to do was say stuff like that and be like, that's going to be my main goal in this offseason. And then he could have quietly said to Daryl Morey, hey, guys, like, I was just saying that for publicity reasons. I really want to get the hell out of here. Would you trade me, please? And then they could have brought him back at the beginning of this season. The fans wouldn't be as upset as they are right now. And he could have played. He could have went on his little 9-game run where he has a 20-point triple-double. And boom, we get whoever the hell we want in a trade, and it's all good. But he ruined it from the time that game was over.
Unbelievable. Let's get someone's thoughts. Yo, who do we have on the line?
Hey, this is Stephen David. I talked to you earlier, DJ, on your program. And,
yeah, man, what's up?
Now I get to say hi to RB, my dude.
What's going on, man?
I love you, RB.
Appreciate you, man.
I got a question for you. Why wouldn't it be okay to not pay Ben Simmons, let him not be there, save all that money so you could use that money to go get other players that would be beneficial using that contract money that you're saving on Ben Simmons? Why wouldn't that be an option? That, let him be stubborn and don't pay him. He doesn't show up, fine him. And by the way, the fines should come out of his bonus, not out of his next quarter's pay. It should come out of his bonus because he's not showing up to get his money for his next quarter pay. So to me, that money's already mortgaged because he's not showing up. And use that money that you're saving. You already got $8.25 million. That's a nice contract for a player that will actually contribute to the team. Because you guys have some guards. You guys are so weak at the guard position. It's unbelievable. And by the way, I'm a specialized legal assistant, and if it were me and my money, I would be hiring 10 attorneys to file lawsuits against Ben Simmons for everything that you can do, and I would bleed that sucker dry. I would bleed that sucker dry until he wakes up and becomes a man and does his job that he's been paid to perform to do.
Yeah, I think the issue is I don't think this money comes off the books like that.
Did I hit the nail on the head, guys? Did I hit the nail on the head?
Absolutely.
I don't think this money comes off the books, though. Like, I don't think not paying him his salary goes towards our salary cap until he's traded and his contract is out of here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I heard that they were going to take the money and give it to charity. Instead of giving it to charity, why don't they use it and build the organization up?
Yeah, screw charity. We need guards, bro.
Yeah. The money.
The weak front office who should be out there scouting for the next point guard that you need. Looking for the next John Stockton because you got Embiid, you got the mailman already, the mailman-like player already. All you need is the Johnny Stockton, and you got your team.
Yeah. The money is held, I believe, in an escrow account, and if he comes, he gets it, and if he doesn't, then I do think it goes to charity, which is actually. Bro,
you can't. I gotta stop reading the chat when people call. The chat is just
yeah, dude.
Insane.
That's man.
So then sue out the contract, get the contract with Ben Simmons broken, and move on. You're better without him. look at the confusion that this guy is creating with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Doc Rivers who sits there and praises a guy who does absolutely dick for the team, and now he's got another cat that he's doing the same with. You need to get rid of him, and get a team together. Get a team with a head coach that knows how to coach.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we can hire you, Steven, as a legal assistant, to do our work for us,
I would love to do the legal work for you guys because I get results.
Yeah, hey, I love it. We get results. Shout out to Steven. Appreciate the call, my guy. Much love to you.
Love you guys.
Appreciate it. Woo!
Wow.
Something.
Was he in a dog park?
I thought he was sitting like 10 feet from his phone, but man, he was screaming. I love it. Shout out to John with the super chat says woof.
No, he was more clear when he called earlier. I think he was walking his dogs, listening to us on his phone or something, and just decided to call. But yeah, he's awesome, dude. He has a lot of passionate takes.
I love it. Love the passion.
Man. John, shout out to you. And go ahead, DJ.
I mean, John, you like John Stockton's an all-time great point guard. He makes it sound like all you need to do is go get John Stockton. All you need to do is go get a LeBron James, and you're set.
Crazy, man. I know he would have ripped into 2-5. Shout out to Tim with the $2 super chat says Ben, Maxey, and Shake for John Stockton.
Oh man.
Oh, I love it, man. We got to take another call because that was absolutely hilarious. Like, you never know what to expect on this show, man. And
he's right about what we need, but how do we get it? Like, how do we get that?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't just delete the contract and get John Stockton.
Yeah, I wish we could take that money and just say, screw it, we're gonna do something else. Yo, who we have on the line now?
It's Mama King.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, RB?
Good.
What's up, Mama King?
Yo.
Nothing. I wanted to talk about Ben. He's been working my nerves lately, as you know.
Let's hear it.
You see, Josh Harris, listen to me. He putting them billions to his millions.
I love this thing.
And then he got him out there selling properties and everything.
Yeah, I love that. She calls in a few times. And that was a great saying, she's pretty much saying like Josh Harris needs to step up and put his money to Ben's. You know what I mean? I love that.
And he is.
And tall. Yep.
I hear he's selling his houses. He's selling his rich property and all that. So he's trying to recoup that money that they didn't pay him. But I'm so proud that they didn't pay him his salary, because if he want to be a brat and sit out, then let him sit out with no money. No money. You guys are right. All he had to do was just come back, play. He could have kept it, on the down low that he wanted to be traded, not so public, and he could have got out of there. We could have got what we want. He could have got what he was. And I was in his corner, but now that he's doing all of this, it's ridiculous. Like, he's so scared. He's really petrified to get on a plane and come to the East Coast. It's okay. Like, we're not going to do anything to you at the airport. So, I don't know. He's going to have to get over that. He's going to have to really get over that, because other teams should be looking at this as an example. Because when other players try to pull this crap, they need to know. And I hope they shouldn't pay him for the whole 4 years.
Mama
Just
King,
don't pay him.
let me ask you something.
Yes, baby.
Let's say I offered you $8 million to come back to Philadelphia. Like, what would you say to that?
You know what? Listen, I would be on a plane so fast, getting down there, and you just give me the ball. I just shoot away. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
I will be right there.
Yeah.
I will be right there. It's crazy. And you know what? You can't fault Embiid. You can't fault Doc Rivers. The team is there. They've been behind him. But Embiid gave him just what he needed when he said, I'm sick of this. This is almost disrespectful. We're here. We're here to play. We're here for a team. And we're here to, get the job done. But whatever. He's a brat. He's a girl. So that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can say about him.
Yeah. Well, we
I'm very
appreciate the call.
disappointed.
We appreciate the call and the energy as always.
Somebody in the chat said,
love you guys.
Love you too. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call. Somebody in the chat said, Ben has $20 million a year in endorsements. He's not going broke. Those companies are paying him $20 million a year to play basketball the same way the team is paying him to play. You stop playing basketball, you're not getting paid to have a basketball shoe or whatever else. Like,
right.
That's an expensive lifestyle, man. And bills are piling up. If I stop working for 3 months, my bills are going to pile up to a couple thousand. His are piling up to a couple million real fast.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Like, I still can't believe he just won't show his face. Like, I feel like he really has that celebrity attitude on him. What do you guys
I don't
think?
understand this approach either. Like, they had to have known, like, him and his camp, like, they had to have known that the Sixers weren't going to let this fly. They were going to make this guy report to camp, like, the risk of him not being traded till, a couple weeks into the season or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, he has nobody to blame but himself. I can't believe, like, some of these reports coming out from their side of it, especially, you guys see that Brian Windhorst dude? He has to be employed by Clutch Sports. A declaration of war? Dude, you're getting paid millions and you're not even showing up to work. Like, are you kidding me? A declaration of war?
Dude, I reacted to that video on my channel, and it actually blew me away because the guy sounded angry on ESPN that the Sixers didn't pay Ben Simmons this money. He kept saying, and now with this non-payment, it's just another thing that's keeping it. This is not how you run an organization. He was angry that Ben Simmons didn't get paid that money on ESPN, where you're supposed to be objective and non-biased reporting. He sounded like he was Ben Simmons' like personal assistant who didn't get a check.
Yeah, I heard that from about a couple different ESPN people. The chat's funny. Someone said Ben filed for unemployment. And also I saw a question. Yeah, it is true that he already got paid 25% of his yearly salary. And the fines are coming from the second portion, but they're just holding it. They're dangling it in front of his face. Like, you want it? Come get it. It's crazy, man. I've never seen something like this.
That's 25%. The other 50% is still there too. You don't show up, you're not getting that either.
Yeah, $300,000 per game. Let me ask you guys. So the report came out today. We'll get to the next thing about a potential. We'll say the Pacers were potentially interested in acquiring him. Now, it did not say that the Sixers had any interest at all, but it did say that Caris LeVert was coming up in the negotiation. So, what do you guys think about that potential scenario? I know Brogdon, TJ Warren, LeVert, all those guys have been named. Who knows what the Pacers are doing at this point? But what would you guys think for a potential trade with the Pacers?
It can't be the only guy you get, man. Like, if we walk away with just it's not. I like Caris LeVert. He's a good player. I always liked him. In fact, he used to be one of the guys I felt like would drop 40 on us every time he played us. You know what I mean? But it's sad. He's not even the best player on the Pacers. That's the thing that scares me, man. Like, we hear about these trade offers from these other teams. Did you notice they're never offering their best player? Like the Kings, they said De'Aaron Fox is off limit. Like, we can't even get De'Aaron Fox like this.
They said Halliburton is off limits.
Dude.
Telling you, I don't think teams want him at that price. I don't know why the Pacers would do that. What's the fit they're looking for? Then you get rid of your facilitating point guard. You get rid of one of your best scorers. Now you have Ben Simmons, Sabonis, and
Miles Turner.
Turner. Now you got three centers. Now you got the issue that the Sixers had in 2018 or 2017, whatever. Now you got a bunch of big guys that score in the paint and no guards.
Yeah, it's true. And honestly, the Pacers are just in like a weird spot right now. And when it comes to these guys, like, yes, they would be talent upgrades for us. But let me spew something out here that people I don't think are realizing. Malcolm Brogdon, TJ Warren, Caris LeVert, none of them have ever played a full season. They've been injured every year. So it's like, again, it's a risk. Like, can they come here and play a full season? That'd be great. I think it would help us. I like TJ Warren a lot. He didn't even play last year, I don't think, because he had like some type of foot injury, but you remember the year before in the bubble, he absolutely cooked us. And he's like 28, 29 years old. He's coming into his own. All these guys are around that age, 28. Yeah, it'd be nice. You could match up the salaries with LeVert and maybe TJ Warren or someone like that. They'd be good fits, but can they stay healthy?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't ever hear that TJ Warren was part of it, but if he is, listen, if TJ Warren's healthy, him and Caris LeVert for Ben Simmons, I don't know. You still don't have a real point guard. I don't know, but it's sounding better than some other offers that I've heard. And TJ Warren, yeah, he was lights out before he missed last season. What did he tear his ACL?
He had some weird foot injury. I'm gonna look it up. But Steven, what do you think about that?
If you're gonna do that trade, you got to get Brogdon, man. That guy's a proven point guard. Like I really like Caris LeVert, but that can't be the centerpiece. Like if that means we're trading Ben, honestly, guys, I would consider. And I know this is Sixers fans may not like this, and it's surprising coming from me because I love Maxey, but I would give up Ben. I'd consider giving up Ben and Maxey for Brogdon and LeVert, something like that, because you're getting both of those guys are proven guys. I think they both hover around 20 a game, and Brogdon's your point guard. He would. I can't stress enough how much just having Brogdon on the team would help too. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Just to throw out there, Warren, he had a stress fracture in his foot, and he pretty much missed the entire last season. But he's never played a full season. Brogdon's never played a full season, and LeVert either. But these guys are good talents. I hear you though, Steven. Like Brogdon, and everybody wants to talk about defense, right? Like Brogdon's a really good defender as well.
Too.
And I think he would make our team a lot better. But I don't know. I'm having a little trouble here. Like thinking about the future, right? Like say we get a Malcolm Brogdon and he plays 50 games, he gets hurt. What do we do after that? Where do we go? That's the only thing. It would be a huge risk in my eyes.
Yeah, I think anybody you're going to trade for is a risk. I mean, Joel Embiid being your franchise player is a risk. I mean, I just think if that happens, you're done. You kind of just have to play and hope everybody stays healthy because if something like that happens, you're cooked. But I think not more so, but I think the team needs a facilitator, and I also think a player like Brogdon would help Tyrese Maxey out so much because he could then he could probably come off the bench and run the second unit and just be a bucket getter type of guy, take the ball and score, not too much pressure on you. Or if he could be a starting two guard and Brogdon could, run the half court and Maxey could just focus on scoring. And I think it'd be better for Maxey. I think the combination of those two will be good together too. I like Malcolm Brogdon, and the bar is getting lower and lower with what we're potentially getting back for Ben Simmons. So you're going to have to pick one soon.
You guys think that offer's even on the table anymore with how this is played out?
I think the Pacers are so desperate for attention in the grand scheme of things in the NBA that, like, from a business standpoint, the owners of that team would probably be better off trading for Ben Simmons and then trading Sabonis and literally restructuring the entire roster around Ben Simmons and trying to do that. At least then you have a celebrity, a big name, a guy you can put on a poster that people are talking about, even if not in a positive light. Like from a business standpoint, that's a way to make you some quick money, I guess.
That's a good point. Plus, like, I don't know about you guys. You look at the Pacers, like on paper, they look like they should be like a top 4 team in the East. That's like a good team. Like, I remember they had, like, when Victor Oladipo was healthy too. Like, you can't forget they had that on top of, what's already there. But they just keep falling short. I think they keep just losing in the first round of the playoffs. And like,
no, they got to the. They were really good that year, and guess who took them out? LeBron James single-handedly took them out. They were really good that year.
Yeah. I think we need a wing, to be honest, because, Tobias is more of a different type of 4, but I feel like we really need that wing. When's the last time we plugged someone in at the small forward and, like, they were an impact player? It's been a long time, man.
I whine about that all the time, and I every time I watch other NBA teams, I'm jealous every single time. Like the Raptors last night. They have so much size and athleticism from all of these dudes, Precious Achiuwa, all these dudes are big athletic wings that can catch alley-oops and dunk over people, and we're out here with Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz. Tired of it.
God. Crazy. OG Anunoby, by the way, too. I don't know if you guys noticed him.
Too, yeah.
I think he was picked right around the same pick slot as Cork Miles was in that draft, by the way, something like that. So,
why don't we ever draft a 6'7", 240-pound small forward?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why? I have a feeling that Elton Brand has his fingers in on the drafting too, because I just don't know why else he'd be here at this point.
The Springer pick, man. Everybody says I overreact about it. You don't pick a kid who's 3 years out. Like when you're trying to win a title, you look at all these teams, man, that pick these guys that were in college for 4 years. The Jazz, that team is deep. They drafted Jared Butler. That guy looks like a stud. He's lighting up preseason.
My mom's in the chat. She said Ben Kardashian will never shoot no matter where he is. He is a spoiled brat, and I see him falling into despair like a child actor.
You've done well.
You see where I get it from?
That's great.
Oh man, shout out to her. Yeah. Is it that way or is it the other way around? Does she get it from you or you get it from her?
No, I get it from her and her brothers, and they're wild. They're wild Philly fans.
Would she come in and take a jump shot?
Oh, absolutely. She throws bows too.
Wow.
She boxes out. She throws bows.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure she'd be a much more impact player. Wesley with the super chat says, "What should the Sixers do if they go 6-14 to start?" I just don't see them going 6-14. So I'll have to let you know.
No, not with Joel Embiid. No.
Yeah.
And as much as I overreacted to that preseason game, everybody looks different with Joel Embiid on the floor, and that's been even why we look good with Ben Simmons at point guard, because with Joel Embiid, you almost don't need a facilitating point guard. You just kind of run the offense through him, and whether or not that's a championship formula, we still have yet to see. It might not be, but everybody looks better with Joel Embiid in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. And Al, we're definitely not panicking. The first thing I said here tonight was like we need to chill out about a preseason game. Shout out to Jason with the $5 super chat says, to shore up one of our major weak points, Brogdon to start, Sabonis to assist the second team. If possible, for 2 second-round picks, get LeVert. So I'm not really understanding. Does he mean the trade?
Is he speaking from a Pacers perspective or Sixers?
I think he's saying to trade for Brogdon and Sabonis.
Oh boy.
But I don't want Sabonis on this team.
Don't want anything to do with Sabonis.
He doesn't fit with Tobias. 2 second rounds to get LeVert. I don't see that happening either. I think it's it would have to involve a trade, especially with the match in salary. So but he's been injured a lot.
Yeah, they would probably want first round picks. Like even if you took Sabonis out of that, second round picks I don't think are getting anything done.
Yeah. I thought the Pacers were going to trade Miles Turner and try to build around Sabonis, but they had that whole coach thing last year, and they just went downhill, and obviously they hired D'Antoni, so who knows? Aaron, thank you for the super chat, man. Says if we do the trade with the Pacers, we should ask for McConnell as well as Brogdon or LeVert. Say what you want, but the guy can run an offense with the best of them. Him running the backups makes shake.
Oh, speaking of TJ,
bad spacing.
You know what's so pathetic about this? Do you guys remember? I think it was Simmons' rookie year in the playoffs. We had to make TJ McConnell the point guard. Do you remember that?
That was the only game I went to in that series. We were about to get swept, and Brett Brown said, "All right, I need to put TJ at point guard because Ben's not a point guard."
God.
Then why did we move on from that and continue to try to play him at point guard?
Yeah, I don't get it. We saw it was glaring right there, and then we went through a couple more series. You guys know I love TJ. Like I would take him on my team any day. I don't know if he can be a starting or a backup point guard on a championship contender, but I mean, yeah, maybe ask for him in the trade as well. Just as a backup. I mean, again, like who do we have off the bench? Like even TJ just got a bag in free agency. Everybody got paid. What did we do?
I also think this is a hot take. We should showcase Andre Drummond. Because he's 28 years old.
Oh.
He's an animal. and he's not going to play significant minutes as long as Joel Embiid's healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I think Charles Bassey or somebody like that can be a serviceable backup. And it seems like we have 2 starting caliber centers, and we're lacking in other areas.
Oh, you mean turn Drummond into like a trade piece? You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would we do that though?
I have no idea.
Because I heard I heard the announcer last night. I don't know if you guys caught it, but he said, "Yeah, I can't wait to see Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond together on the floor." I was like, did that really just come out of his?
That was like, y'all remember when First Take or whatever ESPN show had Dwight Howard and Embiid in the starting lineup when they were talking? Oh my gosh! Dude.
Yeah, like just say you guys are millionaires that don't know anything about sports. Just say you're the worldwide leader and you don't know anything.
I was like, are you serious right now? Come on, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. People in the chat are saying like Andre Drummond is so much different from Dwight Howard because Drummond is 28. This guy's like what, 4 years removed from being an all-star. Like he just hasn't adapted his game. And honestly, he's been in a terrible situation. Like he goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's putting up 20 and 15, and they sit him because he's doing too good. Like then the Lakers, that was a terrible fit. So it's like this guy's trying to prove himself and get another contract. And you're right, like he is an animal. And I think he's going to be good. I'm just worried about the guards.
Just 2 years ago, he had a 32-22 rebound game in Detroit with Blake Griffin on the floor. So he's a monster. And I don't know if he could play with Embiid. You know, Embiid can go out to the 3-point line, but Drummond does move a lot better than Dwight Howard. And he has a little bit more of an offensive game. I didn't even really know that much until I saw a couple of his and one plays last night with the one dribble spin move finishing in traffic. I'm like, wait a minute, Andre Drummond's out here getting buckets.
Yeah, and he's playing with energy. You know, he's playing hard, and I'm not worried at all about that position, especially Niang and Drummond off the bench. I don't know who we have that's going to score the ball in terms of anywhere outside the paint off the bench. Like, hopefully Shea can step up. Maybe if we move Seth to the bench, but I just don't see that happening. I don't know what's going to happen there. And Furkan, please don't. I mean, this guy was trying to dribble again last night around screens. There's my takeaway right there as well. Stop it. And Doc just let him do it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, see why Doc will look at a player like Maxey. If Maxey has 3 turnovers, Doc's like on the verge of not playing him for 2 weeks. But he'll continuously put Furkan out there going 1 for 10, 5 turnovers, whatever else. The guy's not a point guard. And Doc said that in an interview too, that he played point guard over in Turkey, so that's another advantage that we have with him. No, it's not. Stop making this guy run pick and rolls. I can't stand it. Oh. And also, Isaiah Joe's better than Furkan Korkmaz right now.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He really looked good last night.
And he could defend.
He's got a little handle too. You don't want him like, ISOing, but I was impressed. He looks like somebody who actually improved.
Yeah, he has more of a combo game than Furkan does, He's not just a catch and shoot guy.
Right. And he averaged a couple steals a game in college. Like this guy was a steal of a pick in the second round. So I definitely
think shot is nice too, man. Nice arc on it. Like he gets that thing up there.
Yeah. He seems like he could be a real good role player.
His shot is nice. And I don't think he really has like off nights, Furkan is one of the streakiest shooters I've ever seen.
God.
Yep. He's either he's
the front of the rim. Like that's when you're off. You can't even get it over the rim, dude.
He hit the front of the rim, then he airballed one from the side.
Gosh.
So he's either really bad or really good. I think for the most part, Isaiah Joe's open. The thing looks like it's going in. He shoots like a consistent 40%.
Yep, exactly. Shout out to Mina with the $5 super chat. Says Benjamin Simmons is killing his own brand. No team's going to want to bring on this kind of drama, and I hope Doc doesn't ruin Maxey's spontaneity. Shout out to Mina. We appreciate the super chat. I agree 100%. He's killing his own brand.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch his highlights and say like, well, we would love to have him on our team if he plays like that. Mm-hmm. It's the other side of his mentality that's scary for a team to trade for.
Do you think we're being a little too like, because we're so involved like with the as the Sixers, like, do you think we're like too much into this situation? Like maybe the outside view isn't like that of Ben Simmons. Obviously it looks bad, like with this situation right here, sitting out. or whatever, not reporting. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like you had mentioned, just watch the highlights of Ben Simmons. Because how many times, man, have we done that as Sixers fans? We get these players at the trade deadline. We're watching their highlights. We're like, oh, shoot, this guy's awesome. He comes
me with Josh Richardson. I thought this kid was a superstar.
I'll take that one on the chin. I was so wrong about him, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. And I think both of you, Mina and Steven, bring a good point. Like, in terms of the drama, like, do you guys think other teams are just laughing at us at this point? Like, do you think GMs are just pretty much sitting in their big offices, just sitting there like, these guys look like fools?
Probably, yeah. But it sucks that, like, what are we supposed to do? He put us in this position.
I know. And that's why I hate him even more, because I feel like he did it on purpose, out of spite.
But speaking of the draft, when you said about the draft and Jade and Springer, like, that's why I wanted this trade to happen at the draft. Me and RB were streaming the draft, and once I saw that a trade wasn't going down, I wanted to just, like, RB, you just do this by yourself. I don't even want to talk about this draft. I hate everything about it. It just made me mad. And then it was like a, I don't know, panic move, I guess, or like, well, we got to take the best player here at this slot since we didn't trade Ben, and now we have a kid that's like 17 and a half years old. I don't get it.
If Tyrese didn't see the floor last year that much, Jaden is not seeing the floor this year at all.
No, he reminds me exactly of what's his name, Zaire Smith.
Yep. Right on.
I don't know if you guys saw today. I saw Woj. He said Mikal Bridges is in the range for $20 million a year on the free agent market. So
see, like, all you had to do was just keep that guy on draft day. Like, we literally drafted him. Like, it's just,
hey, we need a
good man. He's just a solid two-way player. It's just the fact that we have guys like Kork Maz and all these other guys, man.
Yeah. It's the fact that we were like, hey, what do we need in this draft? We need a wing, two-way player, a 3-and-D player. And it was like, oh, we got a perfect 3-and-D player who just happens to be from Philadelphia, and his mom works for the team.
Dude.
And Brett Brown was like, nah, nope. That sounds too good. I think Brett Brown was hired by somebody to sabotage this franchise, because anything that looked like it was going to work, he went away from. Trey Burke and Ben Simmons on the floor together looked like a perfect combination. Get him out of here. Alec Burks, get him out of here. I mean, I don't know. That guy was crazy, man.
You know what's funny, DJ? Like, I came across this video yesterday on YouTube, and I was watching it. It was like a timeline of this entire 2-5 debacle. And they were talking about the part when Brett Brown sat down with him, but he also sat down with his family and talked to them about him shooting. Like, I just find that so hilarious. The fact that, like, his parents had to be in the meeting. Like, are we kidding? Like, this guy's been babied for so long. Like, This is a professional organization, man. It's tiring. Wesley says $2 and not have my question answered at all. I just don't see that happening. Robbery. I mean, come on, Wesley. You want me to answer the question? I don't think it's going to happen. Like,
what do you want us to say, man? Wesley's just always mad. You can't please Wesley Stone, man. Whatever.
If we do go 6-14, here's what I want to do: win more games and see how it plays out until 2-5 gets traded. That's really my answer. What do you think we should do? Call into the show, Wesley. We're right here.
Wesley wants us to go 6-14 so he can celebrate that he was correct about Ben Simmons being the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, that's what he wants. That's what he wants. Jason with the $2 super chat. Appreciate it, man. Says, what about Dennis Smith Jr.? The bench needs help too. I'll let you guys go.
I'd probably take Isaiah Thomas at this point over Dennis Smith Jr.
You know what that reminds me of? You guys were mentioning, like, bench scorers earlier. You know who I really wanted that year? The year we got what was it? Glenn Robinson and Alec Burks. I wanted D Rose so bad. Like, I don't understand why they should have just whatever.
And we need a score anyway. Like that. We do. Look at what he's done on the Knicks, man. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. We really need that type of score, but we still got 400 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody wherever you guys are watching. Drop a like, subscribe to all the channels. Let us know if you're enjoying this. Call into the show 215-798-7638. We'll go back to the phone lines a little bit. Let us know what you guys are thinking about this team. Is it time to panic yet, or do we need to take a chill pill? John with the $5 super chat says free Raul Neto. You gotta love it, man. Raul Neto was one of the worst basketball players I've seen.
Horrible, man. Entry pass specialist.
Brett loved him though.
Brett really said that several times. We need him on the floor because he gets the ball to Joel Embiid. He's an entry pass specialist who can't score or defend or do anything else.
Even Trey Burke, man. It's just, I don't get it.
Trey Burke put up 21 points and 8 assists alongside Ben Simmons having a 34-point triple-double in 3 quarters.
Oh my God. Not to mention, he went to Dallas.
Benched him and cut him.
He was good on the Mavericks, and he was productive on that team in the playoffs coming off the bench. Him and Luka were lighting it up that one game.
Yeah. And Brett benched him and cut him. It was crazy. And James Ennis, he took both of our decent bench players, benched him and cut him.
Oh,
I don't.
Guy's insane.
I don't get it. Shout out to the credit card maestro with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. We appreciate that. He says, showing love, gentlemen. I bought season tickets last year right before the playoffs, and now I regret it. Wow.
That's tough. That's tough, man. That's one of those things when people talk about the Sixers getting a financial hit from Ben Simmons doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of people bought season tickets, and now the product is not what you thought it was going to be. You're not getting what you thought you paid for.
Yeah. It's disappointing. I don't know if you guys saw that picture. It was his jersey at the airport, and it was on clearance next to Carson Wentz's, and it said it was a 50% discount, and it said his discount is higher than his free throw percentage.
Oh man.
I mean, that was brutal.
Oh man. That's what I mean. What happens if this man, so wherever he goes, whatever team he's traded to, like what happens if this man's struggling from the foul line on that team? Like I don't see this changing. What is he going to magically turn into a good free throw shooter in 2 months? The offseason was like 2 months.
I mean, the fact that he shot 65 or 70% before tells me that he's just a head case. And that's even worse because not only he's not technically a bad free throw shooter, he just can't handle pressure. So anytime he gets into a pressured situation or the playoffs, he's going to absolutely fold. He couldn't do it. He was nervous. It's probably an anxiety thing. His vision's blurry. He's breathing heavy. All this stuff. Trust me, I have anxiety in other areas of life. I could imagine if that's what he has at the free throw line, he probably can't even see the rim.
He has to because, people talk about that Utah game where he had 42. He also knocked down a lot of free throws that night.
Yeah.
Like for a significant portion, he was shooting like, I think 60, 70%. And it just dropped to 30%. Like that's just inexcusable, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was 11 for 12 in that game. The free throw line.
I mean, even in the playoffs, you got people out here cheering you on at the free throw line. It's like this thing just got so bad. It got so bad.
Somebody said Ben Simmons is reconsidering coming back. Bleacher Report, but
what?
But I just checked it and I don't see it anywhere. So
probably trolling.
Why do people do that?
I don't know. People just like the spotlight, unlike others. But
wait, 9:21 p.m.
Oh no,
October 5th. Ben Simmons' camp apparently asked about the salary the Sixers withheld and was told there's nothing he can do. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, let's see. Wait. Here, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen here. We got a report from Kyle Neubeck. Let's see.
And sorry for calling you a troll, whoever posted that. Apparently you weren't trolling.
I don't know if it's exactly what they said, but let's see if we can get it up here. Can you guys see this or no?
Sort of. I can just pull it up on a side one here. If you just want to read it all.
I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Word.
All right. So after receiving a big fine for missing last night's game, sources say Ben Simmons' representation spoke to the Players Association and had it reiterated the money could not be recovered, a potential sign that the weight of a holdout is settling in. So we got breaking news here on the Sixers Takeover Podcast. What do you guys think about this? The lines are open, man. What do you?
Dude, people said, man, I'm telling you, the first one I heard say it was Mike Missinelli. He said this guy's gonna miss one game and he's gonna come running back. He's not gonna miss. You're not going to lose this much money. Period. Like, your pride doesn't matter. How embarrassed you are to come back. None of that. It doesn't matter, bro. You're not giving up $30 million.
This is turning into a soap opera, man. It's like,
how do these guys think that they can just sit out and get that money?
That's the crazy part too. And when the caller said put your billions to your millions, the last thing a billionaire is gonna do is pay someone that doesn't come to work, bro. A billionaire that owns warehouses and some guy's having an issue at home and he missed 7 days of work and his whole family's going to be put on the street if you fire. He's firing him. He's a billionaire. He does not care. He's not giving up a dollar.
This is interesting. Yeah, and then now it makes sense because the next day he puts his apartment for sale.
Yeah. So what are they suggesting here that he's gonna have to he's gonna report? Okay,
I think they didn't think the Sixers were actually going to withhold that money and fine him.
They're still trying to paint us as bad people.
After being fined $360,000 for missing yesterday's game.
That's insane.
They would reiterate they would be unable to recoup the money being deducted from the $8.25 million sitting in escrow. It was communicated to the Sixers these early fines were perhaps higher than they expected. Simmons has the right to seek arbitration for 30 days and can move for accelerated arbitration after the loss of a hefty game check. Few believe there will be a successful route who has no showed for work while his camp drip feeds stories in the media about his desire to play.
Dude, arbitration is literally a judge sitting between the two parties saying who's right and who's wrong on this contract.
How in the world is a loser, man?
How in the world is a judge going to sit here and say, yeah, you know what, this guy deserves that $8 million for signing a contract and not coming to work?
You know what I have to say, man? I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. He doesn't like basketball.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He's going through all this. I mean, come on, man.
He doesn't like basketball.
James Harden went to Houston last year.
Dude,
you know, he showed up. He was overweight, but at least he showed up.
People who love basketball, they love shooting, even if they're absolutely terrible at it. Mm-hmm. They love shooting a basketball, and people who love basketball need to be told to not shoot the ball when they're bad at it. Somebody that doesn't want to shoot a basketball doesn't love basketball.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And you know, it's pretty crazy too. Like that video I referenced earlier that I was watching. Apparently there were reports as well when he was in LSU about like his lack of like desire and stuff. And it's just crazy to see how that's tied to now.
Yeah, he didn't care at LSU. No, he didn't care at all. He didn't even go. He bragged about not going to class. He never stepped foot in a classroom.
Yeah, and they gave him a documentary, right?
Yeah, he said on there, he's like, you just need a 2.0 to pass, and he bragged about not going to class. And they showed what part of the documentary was him showing up to the campus and signing autographs. Like, the only time he showed up to the campus was to sign autographs for people. He was just a celebrity. He's been treated like that his entire life, and now he's been hit with a brick wall, and he doesn't know how to get past that like I'm better than everyone mindset.
Yeah, unbelievable. Hold up, let's go back to the lines real quick. We got someone on here. Let's see if they got any thoughts. Yo, who we got on the line?
Yo, this is Joe Cruz, man. Just calling in. Wanted to say Ben Simmons is a piece of shit. Simple as that, brother.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Thank you, bro.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Very insightful.
Oh, man. We got a trade, too. Indiana is trading Edmund Sumner and a 2025 second rounder to the Miami Heat. Oh, no, via Miami to the Brooklyn Nets.
Things are happening, guys.
You think so?
Edmund Sumner.
Does this mean anything?
Yep,
Also-
we're getting a Ben Simmons trade before midnight. We're sitting here all night.
Also, another trade. Where was this at? Sekou Doumbouya being waived by the Rockets after acquiring him from the Nets. Sekou Doumbouya, bench help off the bench for the Sixers. And also Kyrie Irving might not be able to play in home games. So
Oh, we already knew that.
Yeah.
Somebody said Kyrie's eventually going to get vaccinated like Andrew Wiggins did, and I'm here to tell you right now, no, he's not. If there's if there's one person that values their own beliefs over the NBA, it's Kyrie Irving. He'll retire before he's on some other shit. He's on some like elitist run the world and it's all like some kind of big giant scam to keep like he's on some other stuff. He does not care about the NBA at all. There's no way. He thinks like the Rockefellers are trying to put some kind of microchip in his arm. He's not doing it.
Nope.
Boy, it sounds like the Nets and Sixers. I was gonna say might have to swap players, but I don't know if I want to deal with that. I would like to just have a normal player come here.
Let me ask you guys that. Would you be just say
God, Kyrie's so good though, man.
Would you accept that trade? Like, would you be happy about that?
No, unfortunately, no. He's just too much of a head case. He's just too much of not necessarily a head case. I went to his website and I read a lot of stuff. I say head case the wrong way. I'm serious. He has so many foundations. He's just so focused on helping the world. He does not care about basketball. You know what I mean? And it sucks because, well, it doesn't suck for the rest of the world and everybody that he's donating money to and foundations and things, but he's so good at the game he can show up and drop 45 anytime he wants to, but he's just so focused on being a philanthropist, he doesn't actually care about the game at all. So, he'll play for 2 weeks and then he'll like leave for 2 weeks and his Twitter page will be like some kind of Egyptian photo with some kind of other language and like, dude, he's just not focused on the game, man.
You said
you know what though, guys? Can we play a version like think about it? Does giving the Nets Ben Simmons and taking away Kyrie from that team, does that make them better or worse?
Oh, it makes them better.
A lot better?
Yeah, I think their only issue is defense right now, and I don't think Kyrie really helps him that much. He kind of just takes the ball away from James Harden and Kevin Durant. You put Ben Simmons with Durant and Harden, I'm sorry, I don't want to do that. I don't want to send Ben there.
I don't think KD would take his stuff though. I think if he came in and just played like the way he is, I feel like KD would go.
Yeah, hold up. The game's on the line. The ball's in Durant's hands. What's Simmons doing in that situation?
Well, they're fouling him.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Hack a
Ben right away.
Checkers. Got to play chess.
Right. Shout out to Gossip Girl with the super chat. Says my boyfriend is crushed about Ben and doesn't want to watch basketball anymore. How can I convince him to love the Sixers again? I'm sorry. You might be at a crossroads there, but I'll let these guys try.
I don't want to talk bad about her relationship.
Steve?
I had an urge to say something, but I don't know if I have it in me. All I got to say is, why doesn't he like watching Joel Embiid play basketball?
All I'm going to say is, if your boyfriend's crushed about Ben Simmons, I know who wears the pants in a relationship.
Oh.
That is.
I wanted to say it, but I just couldn't do it.
Shout out to Gossip Girl for holding down that one.
Gossip, shout out to you. Just tell them. I don't know if you guys are from Philly, but we'll move on. We'll be all right. We'll win games. Don't worry. Can we get a caller on the line, man? We got 400 people still in here. You guys are madmen and women. We appreciate you guys being here. But of course, Wes.
Oh man,
Wesley, I gotta give you credit, my man. You always stay consistent. At least you don't fade away like these other ones. But man, This is going to be a great show for a long time. Who do we have on the line? And they hung up.
Oh,
Damn.
Must have been her boyfriend. But Andre with the $2 super chat says Sixers without Ben is oh my
dang,
god.
what is going
Here they
on,
come.
man?
Here they come.
The Sixers with Ben was depressing. We lost to the Atlanta Hawks.
Are you guys excited to see an actual offense on the floor? I know I am.
I mean, what's not depressing about a 6'11" guy passing up a wide open dunk?
Right. Yo, who do we have on the line?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, what
Name
up?
is Man. Saying hi. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah,
Hold on, man.
I just want to say one thing. I feel like as a Raptor fan, I watch you guys' channel and I really like what you guys say about the Sixers and how you guys analyze the game. And I know you guys diehard fans, just like I'm a diehard Raptor fan. But I gotta say, a straight up swap for Siakam and Simmons. Do you not see it as a win-win for both sides? The way I'm talking about it is because before last season, Siakam was shooting 40%, 38% from three. And that's exactly what with good defense. And that's exactly what you guys need.
Did you say Siakam was shooting 48% from three?
He's trying to sell us on Siakam.
And he hung up. So
48. I think it's 28.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
he
keep
hung
that guy
up
away from my team,
immediately.
man.
Yo, come on, man.
No.
No way.
No.
What
I
the
don't
heck are
want
him and
Siakam.
Tobias gonna do? They're just gonna stare at each other.
Siakam benefited a lot from Kawhi Leonard, you know. And once Kawhi left, it was kind of like, okay, now all the pressure's on him, and he doesn't have that much to his offensive game, really.
Yeah. And he does not fit with Tobias Harris, so
Exactly.
I just don't
That
see
too.
it. Yeah. Romp in the chat. What's up, Romp? I'll take Siakam, then we can trade Tobias. Does that really push move the needle?
Yeah, I don't think trading a 40% 3-point shooter for a 28% one is helping Joel Embiid too much.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, the chat pretty much agrees from what I'm seeing in here, but we got 400 people in here, guys. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Let us know if you're enjoying this this collaboration. We'll probably take a couple more calls and then probably close it out for tonight. What do you guys think about this whole debacle? When do you think an end comes to this? Are we going to sit here through a whole season with this? I think moves are being made. I don't think it'll go on for a long time.
When you say, "Jeez," I mean,
if they're asking already about fines and stuff, like things are going to happen.
Well, the first regular season game is like what? That's like it's like, let me check.
15 days maybe.
Dude, I'm telling you, that amount of money is going to pressure anybody to show up. Especially somebody that lives that lifestyle. He's not just, he's rich, he can sit back. No, he can't sit back. He can't sit back. You can't live that lifestyle and not make any money. And it doesn't matter how famous his Instagram girlfriend is or whatever else. He's not like people are talking about. He has endorsements. He has this, here's that. He doesn't have anything that's paying him $170 million besides the NBA.
Anyway, this isn't my place at all to be, talking about this because it's his business off the court, I guess, especially relationships. It's touchy, but like, why is it did you notice every girl he's dated has been a celebrity, like a well-known celebrity? Like, again, it's his life, but like you look at Embiid, who he married, I don't even know, like, I'll be honest, I've never heard of her until now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It seems like he just cares. And then again, so many NBA players play video games and stuff like that, whatever. But like, he's into the whole like Twitch, like live streaming, like, FaZe Clan thing. Like, it just seems like he cares more about being a celebrity. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this man never laced up his basketball shoes again. Like, what if this thing just got out of hand? He's like, screw it, made my money, all these endorsements. I mean, he got a max contract. Think about it. The guy was, obviously in the situation now, but just it's funny because Eastwood, you have been saying this for a very long time. Like, you've been saying this since, like, I remember you first hopped, on here on the YouTube. And like, I know me and RB, like, we were always realistic with Simmons. Like, we definitely weren't fanboys or anything like that. We gave him the benefit of the doubt for the longest time. But I just remember like Eastwood when he first got up on here, I was like, damn, this dude's pretty harsh towards Simmons. Like this was even back to like before all this stuff, obviously became an issue. But
I pretty much hated his. I pretty much hated his mindset from the time I heard the guy talk in college or whatever. I thought he could be a great player, but I hated his mindset from the jump, and I always thought he loved being a celebrity. And why are you talking about how much a guy makes or what he's doing with his Instagram? I don't know too many players that are posting pictures of themselves in a Bentley before they ever touch the basketball court. Like, we know you got paid to be in the NBA. It was just the way that he presents himself on social media is so like, look at me. Take this photo of me walking out of a car, like looking at the ground. Make sure I'm holding my Louis Vuitton bag. Like, it's so off-putting, and it's really, I could tell from the very beginning, this dude just loves being a celebrity. I didn't know it would get to this point. But I know that he can't lose as much money as he's losing. The fact that his camp already reached out, like, "Hey, you really fined us that much money? Like, can we work this out or something?" Nope. Yep. So something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. He can't lose that much money. He just can't.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Gossip Girl with the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. Says putting it out there. I thought Ben was a bitch since day one. Also, I'm trying to call from Canada and it's leaving me on voicemail. Well, a lot of people are calling, and by the way, we can't really know who is calling at one point in time. So you just got to keep trying to call and we'll answer as we go. But shout out to you. Shout out to you for holding it down versus your boyfriend. I think that'll be some good conversations.
Dude, when we were about to, or when we first drafted Ben Simmons, or when I was excited to draft him, my girlfriend said to me, she's like, "What if he's not good?" And I was like, "What do you mean? How could he not be good?"
Right, damn.
I was like, "He's 6'10", can handle the ball. He's fast. He's dunking on people. He's going to be amazing." Yeah. And 5 years later, it's like, crazy. She actually said that. She just looked at me and was like, "Well, what if he's not good?"
Yeah, it's harsh.
I couldn't even fathom it, and she was right.
Yep. There you go. She's always right. Yo, who do we have on the line?
I couldn't even fathom it. Yo, this is David. I'm actually a Raptors fan, but I mean, if I was in your position and the Raptors have been in this position before when we lost Vince Carter, I would just trade Ben Simmons, get him the fuck out of there, and build from the middle. Like, you guys are already a great team. You have Embiid, who will probably lead you to a championship eventually. So it's just a waste of time and resources for everybody, I'd say. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Obviously, everybody wants an ample return, but I'll just move on and start building up in the middle, get solid role players. Embiid has MVP caliber skills to get you a championship. Raptors did it in 2019, and other teams have done it before. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah, appreciate the call, my man.
Thanks, man.
Another great caller there, and geez, the Raptors fans these guys are eyeing us, man.
Well, I think part of the reason they're not just going to trade him for anything is because Daryl Morey has an ego also, and he has a reputation also. And he's like, if I get screwed in this trade, that I'm going to look like the worst GM ever. So he's sitting tight. Like, I'm getting the best thing I can get for this guy. I don't care if it takes this whole season, probably.
Yeah. I don't think Daryl wants to trade for anything less than like a known player. Let's see. Who do we have on the line now?
Hey, it's Gossip Girl.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Gossip Girl?
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, thanks for answering my super chat. I just wanted to talk real quick about how my man is a Ben Simmons fan, and I'm also a Raptors fan, by the way. Y'all got a lot of Raptors fans here.
Thank you so much.
And
wait,
no problem.
Sorry.
So I just want to.
Wait, so your boyfriend's a Sixers fan and you're a Raptors fan? Is that correct?
Yeah, I know. We've been dating for like 4 years. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
I know. I slander him all the time. He slanders me. It is how it is. But I wanted to tell you guys, it is. I don't actually hate the Sixers. Actually, I like Joel. I like what you guys do, and I like your culture in your city. But my boyfriend is such a Ben fan, and when he kept denying that, he doesn't need a jump shot, he doesn't need to shoot. He gives other people opportunities to shoot, and I'm like, And now he's just so heartbroken. I took him to the Raptors preseason game, and he was so sad that Ben wasn't there, man. I just want him to love basketball again.
Is your boyfriend's name Wesley Stone?
No, unfortunately. No.
All right. Just checking.
No. You guys still love Joel. We both really like Joel Embiid. And I'm saying Joel Embiid deserves better. But he's just so sad about Simmons. I just want him to love basketball again, man.
I mean, it sounds like a tough predicament here. Like, mate, I feel like you're fact checking him here. Like, Joel's the man. Like, tell him to get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell him to get over it. Come on. It's just Sixers basketball.
Okay, I'll tell him to get over it, and I'll tell him specifically that you guys told him to get over it.
Watch our channel.
Yeah, Ben doesn't want to be here, so we don't want him here.
I do.
Why does he?
No, he can't handle Sixers. He can't handle the Ben slander. He can't handle the Ben slander. Again, I like the Sixers, and I actually like an organization, and I like that. I like Joel, but I am mainly here for the Simmons slander. He can't handle it.
Hey guys,
and if you're wondering who wears the pants in the relationship, you can, you guys are right.
Well, I would have bet money on that.
All right. I love you guys. Keep doing what you do. Have a great night.
Thank you. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, these callers just get better and better and better. That one was self-explanatory, and
wow.
Jeez, we got I don't even know what to say. Shout out to Jason with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. You've been showing some love tonight. He says Fraud Simmons needs to be traded immediately. If he comes back, he's going to fake an injury and get paid. He's going to mess up potential trades. Owners and GMs have been hearing media say fake an injury. You guys really think he would do that, though?
If that's the only way,
I feel like he would.
If that's the only way to contractually get that money, maybe he will.
I feel like he would. Could you imagine that, him sitting on the sideline and just not talking?
That would just be so weird, man. We got to get this over with.
We really do.
Did you see Kwame? Did you see Kwame Brown talk about Ben Simmons on his YouTube channel? Yeah, I just saw that today.
He's right.
Yeah, he was like, as a businessman, like, I got to let you know, this is not a good decision. He's like, coming from me, who's made mistakes, who's lost millions of dollars in certain deals, messing with certain agents and stuff. He's like, you're giving up this many millions of dollars. In 10 years, you might be smacking yourself in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. We got another caller here. Yo, you're live on the show. What's good?
Yo. You guys can hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
I'm not a Raptors fan, but I live in Toronto. I'm Martian, by the way.
What's up, man? What team do you like?
I wouldn't want Ben Simmons here in a Raptors jersey because I think it'd be really good for the Raptors. Because one, they run a lot of defense, and Nick Nurse, a defensive coach, that'll really help them a lot. And two, Raptors player development is really good. Like, if they can get guys like Fred VanVleet undrafted and turn them into, borderline all-stars, I mean,
I agree with that.
This guy.
Yeah.
And Masai Ujiri is just a man. He'll figure it out. One way or the other, he'll convince Ben to stay here, and I don't know. I think he'll just be good here in Toronto, and I wouldn't want that for the Sixers.
So the Raptors can get Ben Simmons to shoot the ball, yes or no?
I believe so. Yeah, I really do. If they can get Scotty Barnes to start hitting threes, and shit, they can do a lot with Ben. And I wouldn't want Siakam back for the Sixers. Hell no, absolutely not.
Hey, man.
I'd rather get OG. I mean, this is wishful thinking. I'd rather get OG and Fred VanVleet, but we all know that's not happening.
I agree. Hey, appreciate the call, my man.
Thank you, man. You guys enjoy.
Thanks,
Later. I remember in the beginning of this, people were saying that they wouldn't take Fred VanVleet for Ben, and I was like, dude, I'd take him right now.
Yeah.
And now that's looking like way better than I thought it would have looked.
T3 with the super chat. He got too much love early, and y'all let him get away with too much. Didn't let him sweat before giving up the max a year early. Raptors fan. Thank you, my man. I agree with you. He's been coddled. He's been coddled the entire time.
Yeah.
He's right. A big problem is that this team was terrible with nobody on it. There was no veterans. There was no nothing. There was even a coach that shouldn't have been a coach. If Ben would have got drafted by the Lakers or somebody else that had veteran players and a veteran head coach, he wouldn't have got away with this stuff. They would have sat him down his rookie season and said, this ain't going to fly. But we were so happy to have a potential superstar, big name, that we just let him get away with whatever.
Yeah. And it also pisses me off when people say, oh, well, the Sixers were just the worst team in the league. And then when 2-5 came, they were a 50-win team. Like, there's other things that went into that. You know what I mean? Like, how about Joel Embiid playing?
Yeah.
How about other player? Like, come on. I hate what
How about the fact that NBA defenses didn't know yet that you just don't have to guard him? Right. Like all of his rookie highlights, they're out at the 3-point line on his hip trying to guard him, and he's blowing by everybody, cutting through the defense, throwing no-look passes behind his head. That's all great. If the defense is out there, all of a sudden the defense is nowhere close, and now he can't do anything.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. There's like 50 people trying to call in. We'll take one more, and then we'll wrap this thing up. But you guys have been crazy, man. Shout out to all the love in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. All right, let's see who we got on the line. Yo, what's going on? No, we can't hear you.
Hello.
I heard you like very muffled in the background, but
yeah, sorry, I called earlier and my headphones were in.
There you go.
I was trying to talk.
What's going on, man?
So would you guys completely be opposed to Kyrie coming to Philly?
See, I wouldn't, because I think he's that good at basketball.
For me, if they could make him sign a piece of paper saying he will show up in a day, then yeah, I would love him here. But other than that, I would say no. I feel like he would retire if he got traded here.
Me too. But like, I don't know. I feel like the situation is already so messy that it couldn't get any worse. I don't know if that's just me wishful thinking, but
well, then you're adding Kyrie Irving on top of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know that's what I mean though. Like, we get him off of their hands, we get Ben off of our hands, and then we just try to make something work off of that.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
It would probably take a little bit more than just Ben, but I think we could do it. I think we could pull it off.
We probably could. It just depends if Kyrie would show up.
If looking at it from the other side, if I was the Nets, I would make that trade right now. But Kevin Durant apparently already said that he doesn't want to do that trade. So apparently Kevin Durant is the GM and the coach.
Well, you heard Kyrie, right? They don't need a coach.
Yeah, they don't need a coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Steve Nash. Go you, man.
Yeah, anyway, how does Kyrie and Doc Rivers work? Oh,
that's
boy.
a story for another day.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Appreciate it. We need one more call with some energy, man. We need somebody to fire off to close
Heck
this
yeah.
off. TR3 with another $10 super chat. Thank you guys for all the love and support. You're out here showing our channels. So don't listen to this Raps fan. We ain't the most desperate. We're not this desperate. Most Raptors are just fine with Scotty Barnes. We can't make anyone better that doesn't want to be better. That's a strong statement right there.
Yeah.
That's a strong statement.
And that's how a lot of GMs are probably looking at this. This guy's not going to come here and randomly shoot. He clearly does not have any interest in improving his game. He's blaming everybody else every day.
Right. And the last 2 to 3 years, it's been, is he going to do it? We know he can. Will he live up and work on his game? But he hasn't. So I think we've reached that point. I agree.
Oh yeah. You don't have the number up.
Oh yeah. I got you.
And hopefully this is the last time, all of us hop on here and have to talk about this, by the way, because I'm getting really tired of it. You know what I mean? Like the next time we do this round table, I want to talk about the team, man.
Yes.
It would be nice.
We're going to be doing this weekly, man. And for the people in the chat asking us why we keep talking about it, again, like we're not trying to. It's the news of the team. Like it's what the reporters talking about. It's what everybody talks about. We're 15 days away from playing a game. Like we need to know what's going to happen with our guy, So
yeah,
can't really fault us. But
literally, you Google search, you just type in Sixers. All right, I just typed in Sixers, and the first two of the three articles that come up are both related to this Ben Simmons contract situation.
Yep,
and they played a preseason game last night, so it's not us. It's not us, man.
We just got to cover the team. Yo, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right. Hey, guys. I enjoy your show, and I'm a huge Sixers fan, too. But let me just say this really quick. Ben is a buff, right? And the Sixers, this is all the Sixers' fault because it's no reason why he got a max contract, that big contract, after scoring 1 point in that playoff game. I'm sorry. I will never forget that. Ever since he played that game, I just was never a Ben Simmons fan at all. I'm going to cuss real quick. He plays like a bitch. I think he is a bitch. That's all I got to say, guys.
Thank you for the
Y'all
call.
have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Yeah,
Damn.
he's had some poor playoff performances. There's no doubt.
I forgot all about that.
He
The
did
1 point game. He came back and had a 31-point triple-double the next night, though, after Jared Dudley called him out.
Dude,
See, that's why it was so
about to bring that up.
frustrating with this guy.
I was standing Ben Simmons so hard. Like I was like, I was going to war for this guy. I was like, yeah, Jared Dudley, you suck. You're 40 years old and you should be playing in LA Fitness. And that, like, where was that motivation? That you saw it right there. He took it to heart. He came out and was a dog, man. I don't get it, man. Mina with the $2 super chat. Wentz and Simmons both mentally weak and paid too soon. Sheesh. I would have to agree. It's been a tough time with Philly sports. Don't forget Markelle Fultz.
Ugh.
Yeah, Carson Wentz was paid after he broke his leg, right? Or was that before?
No, it was. Shout out to Howie Roseman.
It was after. It was after another season-ending injury, right? After
his back injury.
Yeah.
Wow. You broke your leg. You come back. You're not as good. You have another injury, and then we give you a max contract. That is wild.
And then you draft a quarterback in the second round.
Whose draft profile is Tim Tebow? I'm just saying. Just saying that's what it says on his profile. I'm not saying he is, but that's ballsy.
Credit card maestro with the $5 super chat. Imagine Ben's first game back at the Wells Fargo Center in a different uniform going to be worse than Santa with the Eagles. Well,
I'm going courtside.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Fund us to the game. We're live streaming it too. The moment he's going for an inbound right there, we'll be right up in his ear.
The moment the date is announced, I'm serious. I'm going courtside.
I can see how it's going to play out. I can see Joel Embiid first possession, taking him down in the post. The fans rise up. Everybody's going wild. And Joel hits him with a little spin move or something, throws it down. He's pumping his chest. And
I think Ben would go to the locker room and never come back.
Think he plays that game?
No.
He'll weasel his way out of it, man.
He's not coming to Philly.
Imagine he pulls up first possession and shoots a 3.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I would be irate.
That'd be nuts. But that being said, guys, we've been going for 2 hours. Still 400 people in here, guys. Appreciate you all so much. Drop a like wherever you're at. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed this show. Hope to do it again next week. Hopefully Romp will be here because
hey, we gotta call Comcast for Romp, man.
Everyone drop a Romp in the chat. Show him some love. I think Romp's in the chat himself. Thank you to everybody who helped support the channel tonight. All the nice comments, the super chats, the channel members. Shout out to everybody in here. I'll let these guys go around and then we'll close it out. Steven, what do you have to say?
Appreciate the energy, guys. I'll be honest, man. I've I'm trying to look forward to this season because this Simmons thing is just looming over me so much. I want to be excited about this team, and just being on these streams again with you guys, the energy and stuff. Like, I'm excited, man. Regardless of all this nonsense going on, I'm excited to get back into gear, man. So hopefully, we're back on here. I guess we're making this a Tuesday night thing. So keep bringing the energy, guys. I hope the next time we're on here, he's gone. I really do, but wouldn't bank on it. And hopefully Romp's here, man. Hopefully he gets his internet. My dad forgot to pay the bill.
Yeah, I set my Comcast up to automatic a long time ago because I forget things like that too. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody showing love, man. This is fun doing this with you guys, and hopefully next time we're not talking about Ben Simmons. I do think it is a fresh energy going into the season, even though I'm worried about how much the team really has outside of Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. And I have worries about Doc Rivers trying to turn Maxey into a traditional point guard. But it's a fresh energy, though, because I was lying to myself all last year and probably the year before that it's okay. This guy won't shoot, but he does this better. He does this okay. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's real. And I knew it wasn't fine the whole time. And so now it's finally like actually on the wall, it's done, it's over. So we can move forward.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to all the great supporters in the chat. D'Angelo says very disappointed in the stream. Well, thank you for tuning in, man.
Hey, we got 400 people here at 10:18 at night with absolutely nothing to talk about, D'Angelo. So you start a YouTube channel. And in 3 years, let me know how many people are watching, bro.
Hey yo, RB, it's all right, man. You're still an all-star. You don't have to work or improve.
There you go. Right. It's my name, right? Tina with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Just send them to Alaska.
Dude said that must have been Gossip Girl's boyfriend.
It's just funny to me. Like, we're 2 hours, 7 minutes in here. We can't even put together a sentence. We're tired. We have nothing to talk about. And this dude, like, you probably have been here since the first 20 seconds. You'll probably go back and watch it on the replay. You'll probably watch it tomorrow when you're at work drinking.
Very disappointed in this stream. Wow.
I was never the type of person. I don't know about you guys, to like go into someone's chat and be like, I don't like your content. Like, I would just leave.
Imagine somebody putting like time and money and years into something and just not being good enough for one person in the chat, man. Wow. I'm really disappointed in myself, D'Angelo. I really hope that someday I can live up to your standards.
Maybe I'll just retire. Maybe I'll take my fines and just retire.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just don't show up anymore.
Oh, man. Hey, that being said, shout out to everybody, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Except, even D'Angelo too. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the support, man. You guys have a great rest of your night. We'll be back next week, and we'll all be posting on our channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, the channels are on the banner. Subscribe to Philly Take with RB, Run It Back Philly, Sixers Talk, Steven and Romp. We're here to bring you the coverage. You know what I mean? We're going to tell it how it is, and we're going to cover the team.
Yeah. I'm sorry that Ben Simmons is still the center of all of the news. I can't help it. I can't.
D'Angelo is a confirmed Romp fanboy. Thank you, man. You guys have a great one. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later.